autopilot. Engine 1, fire. Engine 2, fire. Engine 3, fire. Overspeed. 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 Overspeed.
Hey everybody, Shane here. I'm in the MD-11. So this is kind of an interesting flight tonight. We're in the middle of Bum F Egypt, in I don't know where the heck we're at. Some place in the middle of nowhere that I can't even see where we're going. Stephenville, Labrador coast. Some pilot in UPS Virtual Cargo flew this plane out here weeks ago and left it here. And this is not exactly a desirable route. So it's been sitting here for weeks. Nobody wants to fly it. All right, I gotta fix my throttles. They're not set. Nobody wants to fly it back, so I gotta do it. That kind of stinks. That's the only downside I would say with our route system is that you occasionally get this situation where planes get abandoned somewhere and somebody flies this weird exotic route that nobody really wants to do, and then it gets stuck there. But it's only a 2-hour flight, maybe a little bit less, and we're going to get to return this aircraft to our hub.
Stabilizer. Stabilizer. Full lap. Flat.
So it's a net positive because at least we get the aircraft back that we need at Hamilton. And I haven't been to Hamilton in a while, so. Okay, wait and bounce. Well, tell you what. Crew, we need to plan this flight because I haven't even had a chance to do it yet. Hey, Nanny Ray, welcome aboard. Let's go ahead and take a look at this flight that we need to fly here. UPS, I believe it's 2020, but let me confirm the flight number. I don't even remember. It's such a weird one that I don't ever fly. Alright, what is my bookings? 2020. Okay. So the flight number is 2020. We're going from YJT to YHM in the MD-11. Wow, that far away? Jeez, I didn't realize it was a 3-hour flight. I guess we're gonna have a good time tonight, guys. Maybe we'll drink 2 gin and tonics on the way. This is way the heck out there. Why would anybody fly this plane out here? That sucks. Oh, whatever. Guess we gotta do it, right? We'll do it because nobody else will. Alright, cruising out to 30,000. Oh, you know what? We're gonna fix this cruise profile. We're gonna kick it up a notch. Cost index 200, baby. I ain't messing around with this tonight. I want to get home. There we go. Okay, that's better. Let's send that. We'll pre-file this on VATSIM. Alright, that's done. And now we can do weight and balance. So let me bring up this. We want take 2. Cool. Weight balance tonight. We're going to have 63,000 pounds of fuel, 162,000 pounds of cargo, cruise altitude. Oh, apparently we have step climbs in here. Interesting. Kaslu. Alright. So we'll keep that in mind. So weight balance. Payload is 160. 62. Block fuel 63. Taxi fuel 2000. Trip fuel is going to be 42,760. 42,760. Gives us a takeoff CG of 28.8 and a zero fuel weight of 20. Zero fuel CG of 24.4. Okay, that's in the system. Let's go ahead and press on with getting the FMC set up. Oh, okay. Shampoo and rinse. I'm going to talk while I click buttons here because I have a lot to say about this. I too was very hesitant initially to get it because I'm like, I don't really want to fly passengers. I'm not interested in that. I really only care about the freight stuff because I'm really into UPS, right? At the time, I wasn't really doing passenger stuff. And then I started flying 737s for Southwest, and I realized that the passenger stuff was fun because it gave me a lot more routes to fly that I normally wouldn't get to fly. And then I started looking at more videos and pictures of the 777, and I realized that, man, this thing is actually pretty cool. So I went ahead and spent the money, and I got the engine enhancement because why not? And I got to tell you, I am very, 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 very happy with it. I think the depth of systems knowledge, systems, is incredibly good. It's better than the PMDG in all aspects except for integration. Where it's a little behind is integration, where your FMC won't fully integrate with SimBrief yet. The wins you have to enter manually. So that functionality is not quite there yet, but they said it's coming, and I believe them. The aircraft flies well. It sounds great. It's beautiful, inside and out. The AFB is very good, and it has so many options. I don't use the aircraft as well as it can be utilized. +8. Right? It has so many so many features and things that it can do that I just don't take advantage of. -38. So if you're on the fence, I would recommend you get it. And they've already said that if you want to get the F later on, you can get it at a reduced price if you already own 200 ER. But don't let that stop you. I'm very, very happy with my purchase. I fly it all the time. I do almost all of my long hauls in it, and I've put almost well over 100 hours on the plane so far since I've had it. I'm very, very happy with it. So if you're on the fence, get off the fence and get the thing. It's really good. And I'm a snob. I would tell you if it was crap, because I have a lot of other things to say about other planes that I don't think are good. But this isn't one of them. Its flaws are superficial right now, but the benefits are huge. I hope that helps you make a decision. I'm just putting in my flight plan now. Mori 2921. 2921. Agluck. AG L U K Q941 TAM code. Q852. Man, there's a lot of airways up here. Q852. Oh my god, more? Canure. And then we have Q806. Lucy. And at Lucy, we go ECAT 1. And then we need to figure out what it says runway 24, but we cannot accept that in this aircraft. So let's figure out a better runway here. Obviously, 30 is going to have to be it. And then let's figure out Arnav Zulu from Otrox will work. And then we'll go RZ Otrox. And then the minimum descent. Oh yeah, descent, dude. You can't even compare the 67 to the 777. It is night and day. The 777 is modern with like all the latest features that you can have in X-Plane, all the latest code, modern graphics, modern sound, and the 767. It feels like an X-Plane 10 import. It's not even on the same planet. It's completely. It's like you wouldn't even think that the two planes were made by the same people. That's how different they are. Minimum 10, 16. Yep, there we go. Flight plans in. And then we'll go over to the takeoff stuff. Let's pull up some performance data here. We'll do flaps 15 takeoff, flex 60. Okay. And we have no constraints. This runway is 10,000 feet long. So flaps 15, flex 60. The wind. I don't even know what the wind is here. We don't even have any weather for this place at all. Boy, we're just gonna have to wing it. Hopefully the weather's good here. Oh boy. We'll just put 00 because I don't know any better. I have no idea what the temperature is. Actually, no. I do have some weather here. 0 minus 8. Outside air temperature is 12 Celsius. Alright. Flight plans in. Take off on this side. Alright, so another update I have for you guys, which is really fun, is I've completely rearranged my desk, and I've bought some new equipment. So I have an Airbus side stick now that I use for flying the Airbus, but I also works as my new nosewheel steering tiller. So let's see if I can get that set up. Watch. So my nosewheel steering tiller is now on my twist function of my side stick. And then I have rudder pedal steering just for that. So that's cool. Weight and balance set, IRS, FMC check set, fuel quantity. So I'll show you my new desk here in a minute, but it's much more organized. I have my mouse up on the main desk, so I don't have to reach down. I'm very happy with my setup right now. Okay, fuel quantity is checked 63,000 pounds. FMC is checked and set. Flap takeoff selector, flaps 15. IFR clearance, we ain't got that. We're never gonna get it either. Because there's nobody here. Yes, 2020, MD-11. Okay. Transponders, we'll just use 2000. Radios. I don't know if this place has a CTAF. I doubt it. YJT. I guess it does. 122.1. I had no idea. Okay. And then on VHF2, we'll monitor Unicom for now and a guard for later. Okay, FCP airspeed 250. FCP heading, I don't even know. Let's see. Hmm, 271. Okay. Initial altitude 36,000 feet. Nobody here to tell us otherwise. Altimeters. Let's go with 3006. Okay, auto brakes. Takeoff. Departure brief. Also, let me start the APU. Alright. Here's your departure brief. We're in the dark over at Stephenville. What we're going to do here is we're going to push back, tail facing north, taxi down Alpha, because the rest of this airfield's closed. And we're going to do a back taxi all the way down to the runway to the far side and come back around, because I think this shaded area is not complete. So we'll use the runway to taxi, turn around, and depart to the west. There is no departure brief, so we're going to go direct YBC, and then we'll head down this way. We may go direct to Keslu, just to cut out some of this stuff here. In fact, I'll tell you what, I'm going to make an executive decision. We're going to go direct to Keslu right now. Alright, we'll just go direct. Okay. Okay. Alright, so let me go ahead and get my desk set up and you guys can watch me transform. Alright. One moment. Alright, see if you guys can see this whole setup here. So I got throttles here. Got throttles here, yoke here, and my side stick over here. So I got dosal steering here, Quarter pedals down on here. Yoke, throttles. Pretty happy with the setup overall. Alright, doors and windows. Oh, and I gotta figure out where to put my mic. I'll put that right there. Okay, let me open a window. It's a little warm in here. 1 second. Crew?
Ground to cockpit. Tow is driving up.
Closed. Oxide hydraulic pump. On. Parking brake. Set. APU power is on. External power is off. Fuel chucks and age. Pull.
Okay. All doors and hatches are closed. Ready to connect.
Beacon lights on. APU bleeds on. Engine ignition. Go ignition A. It's just been sitting here for a while. Hopefully it starts. Hey cars. Alright. One thing I need to work out is how to use my keyboard better. When I fly the Airbus, it's not a big deal because I don't have anything in the way, but the yoke gets in the way at times. Alright, there we go. Okay, 8 cars is running. Push to start, we're clear to push.
Hey, Captain, let me know where you want this thing.
It's so dark. You know what? We don't even need to push. We can just pull straight ahead and make a left-hand turn. You know what? Cancel plan. Let's go ahead and disconnect the aircraft. I don't need this.
And we're disconnecting the tow. Give me just a moment.
Alright, crew. I think we're ready to start. We'll just start in position and then we'll go. Okay. We got air. Got everything. So let's go ahead and start engine number 3. Button out, light on. Okay, rotation. Okay, oil pressure's coming up. Fuel on. Okay. Starting 1. Rotation. Okay, fuel.
And we're disconnected. Signal and pin on the left. Take it easy and have a safe flight.
I see him. Alright, at the start checklist, engine and wing, engine eyes unfired, AP fleet off. CPU off. Ground signal is good. Okay, taxi checklist, flaps up takeoff, flaps 15. Four handle, armed. Snap trim 5.4, aircraft nose up. Okay, takeoff data B1 at 142, rotate 156, B2 165, flaps retract 175, slap retract 221, clean climb speed 248. Taxi, takeoff departure brief, no change, we're going to back taxi down the runway. Transponder TARA. Okay, nose light. Page big. Taxi clearance, we're good. Nobody's here. Alright, let's go. Wait a minute. Hold on. We don't have a good start on engine 2. What was I doing? Tell you what. We'll start it as we go. Hey, we'll just use 1 and 3 for now. Okay, nose wheel steering. Checks. Brakes check. And nose wheel steering tiller. Okay, engine 2's coming online. Might help if I start all the engines, right? Okay, ailerons left, ailerons right, elevator up, elevator down, rudder left, rudder right. Okay, brakes and flight controls are checked.
Approaching 9. On runway 9.
Oh, I think it's got a bit of a slope to it, doesn't it? flight. Armed. Zero lights.
3,000 feet remaining.
Radar.
Two thousand remaining.
Okay. Now we gotta try to make this turn to keep it on the runway here.
1,000 remaining.
Oh, it's got a little bit of a turnout we can use. Jesus.
100 remaining. On runway 27.
Okay. Get her lined up. Well, we're gonna get out of it. Okay. One thing I want to fix real quick is the tiller. I don't like this response curve that I have in here. Let's just delete that. That's better. Keep it linear. All right, crew. I think we're ready to go. Let's check real quick before we go. I want to make sure there's nobody here on Bad Sim. Nah, there's nobody here. Like nobody even in this part of Canada right now. All right. Here we go. Alright, set takeoff thrust. That's set. Hey, clamp.
B1. Rotate. Gear up.
Okay, 250 pitch. Alright, speed checks, flaps track. faster track.
Stabilizer motion.
Oh, turbulence here. Yeah, autopilot.
Stabilizer motion.
Yeah, to take off checklist, landing gear up, spoiler handle, darn, auto brakes, off, flaps are up, flap takeoff selector, flaps 15, EAD, no alerts, their lights are off.
Stabilizer motion.
Alright, crew, climbing. And we're gonna go direct to Keslu. We're gonna cut out this whole dog leg here. And that should save us a fair amount of time. I like the yoke a lot. It's easier for me, the yoke. The side stick, I'm right-handed, and I've been doing a lot of combat flight sims for my whole life, so I'm used to the stick being in my right hand and the throttle's in my left. Now for the Airbus, it's backwards, right? So I have the stick in my left hand and the throttle's in my right, and I don't have the dexterity for that quite yet, So I flew the Airbus the other day, and I had a really crappy landing because I was just not used to moving the yoke. Right? It was really weird for me, and it wasn't that pretty. But I just need practice. So, timber standard. Have to take off checklist complete. So I definitely prefer the yoke. This thing was weirded me out a little bit, but I'll get used to it. But it's great to have a noseable steering tiller now, which is great. Man, it is pitch black out here. Oh, that's probably why. I'm flying over the Gulf of St. Lawrence. We're gonna have nothing but ocean for quite a while. We're gonna coast in here near New Brunswick. And direct to Keslu. And then down. Oh, Toronto Center's online. Let's see how long they stay online for. Probably not too long. He's been on for 4 hours. Oh, so Daniel, I got the, it's the Thrustmaster side stick. I'm pretty happy with it. Hey, Crazy Italian. It's good enough. I don't fly Airbus every single day. I know that the Wind Wing one looks pretty cool, but I personally don't really like doing business with Chinese companies. It makes me uncomfortable. And I've heard a lot of quality control issues with Wind Wing stuff. So I just bought this Thrustmaster, and it seems good enough for what I need. I don't fly Airbus enough to need something better. And with the Airbus, it's not like you're flying by hand that much anyway. But it gets the job done. And I get to use it all the time because I can use it for my Airbus, and I can also use it for a steering tiller for everything else. Well, I mean, I guess it's good. I've only had it for a couple days, but it seems fine to me. It's a little notchy. You know what I mean? Like, you can really feel like the corners. You can feel the corners of it pretty good. I guess it's a good way you can say it, but I think for my needs it'll be fine. I just need to get used to flying left-handed like that because it's not natural for me being a right-handed person. And with all the combat flight sims that I've done in my life, I've always used my right hand for that, and the throttle's on the left. Now it's all reversed. I could flip my whole desk around and do it reverse, and the Thrustmaster allows you to reconfigure it for a right-handed instead of a left-handed.
Altitude.
1,000 to go. So you can switch the modules over and change it to right-handed. But now I'm sitting on the co-pilot side, and I'm not a co-pilot. I don't do that. So, you know, what do you do, right?
Altitude.
Alright, so Jedi, you're doing what I do. That's great. I love it, and I like to... Here, let me see if I can show you guys this thing. I'm really happy with my setup right now. And I redid all my wires, and I redid my desk. So, like, I have more room, and everything's nicer. Let me see if I can give you a better look. Hold on. Alright, I'm going to mess around with my webcam a little bit. So, I got my throttles here. I got the mouse in between the yoke and the throttles. And before it was on a desk here, and that's a pain in the butt. All right. And then over here is the side stick, and I can move it. I bought this. Well, I bought this really cool. Hold on. All right. So I bought this really cool adapter for my desk, right? So I can actually move this thing around. I got this little clamp thing that I bought on Amazon, and your stick will screw right into it. It's got holes cut out for a bunch of different brands of sticks, and there's holes that line up with the base of this Thrustmaster. So you mount it to this, and you can adjust the height of it here, and then it's got a clamp that you just clamp onto your desk, right? So I can move it around my desk into the ideal position. So I put it right here for just nose wheel steering, and it's off to the side and out of the way. And then if I'm going to fly the Airbus, I'll bring it in a bit closer to here. So like if I'm going to fly and like steer with, like fly with it, I'll bring this right here. Right? Now I have the side stick way closer to me. It's right next to my leg. I don't know if you guys can see this or not. So it's in nice and tight so I can fly better. I got the throttles here. Right? I got the stick over here, and it's really comfortable. And then what I do is I'll just take the yoke and move it off the desk over that way or somewhere else. But if I'm just using this with nose wheel steering, I'll take the clamp and I'll slide it down over here, further out of the way, so I can put my armrest down and rest my arm. So I'm really happy with the new desk setup. And I redid the wires. I take my notepad to this. You know, good setup for me right now. I'm glad I did this. Oh, okay, so I got kind of a... Alright. I've done a video on this before. If you want to look at my Pro Desk Sim videos, I have a mix of two different sets, alright? So, currently what I've got, and I'll show you this. One moment. And we're killing some good time here with this conversation, guys, so this is great. Alright, let me show you what I got. So, what I currently have, yeah, absolutely, Daniel. Hey, if you want the Amazon link for this clamp, if you got a nice thin desk like I do, This thing is awesome. I love it. And it mounts the stick very nicely. I think the one wing will fit on there too. And then you can adjust the height of it, and you can go just move it around your desk to get this stick in the perfect position. It's really cool. Alright, so here's what I got. The flap handle and the speed brake handle are Pro Desk Sim. The throttles are a kit from Flight Sim Factory, and it basically just changes out the knobs and the thrust reverser knobs, but it's still the stock Honeycomb Bravo throttles, just with better knobs on it, and they feel really nice in the hand. But these are Pro Desk Sim. Here's my problem with the Pro Desk Sim MD-11 set were these. The throttles were absolute dog crap, alright? So, two problems with them. One, they're really tall, and the angle of this right here, right? If you look at this, if you put that throttle on there, they sit way down here. So like, it's hard to get your hands on them at idle. They're so low. That's one thing. The big problem were these absolutely dog crap thrust reverse knobs. I mean, look at this. They have no retention at all, and this is a huge problem. And I made reviews, and I talked to the company about them, and they said they were going to redesign them, but I've never seen any follow up. But what happens is there's zero retention because of the way they're designed with these little clips here. I've got 2 videos on my channel about this if you want to watch it. Right? But the thrust reverse levers don't stay in; they flop around, and they're just off. The only good thing that this kit gives you are these auto throttle disconnect switches on 1 and 3, but they don't even have a go around switch. So like, what's the point? So I got rid of these things because they're just garbage, and I went back to the Flight Sim Factory stock Bravo handles with their buttons on it. I mean, with their knobs, you just screw them in. And I am using the Pro Desk Sim detents and speed brake handles and flap handles, because those are good. But this, not good. Yeah, I was looking at those too, honestly. So let me show you what I recently bought, guys. So we got to kill some time anyway. We're out here cruising away. We got a long way to go. Let me show you what I just bought online. I'm waiting for them to come in. I'm really excited. Alright. So this is what I recently bought. Here's my account. So I bought these on the 12th, so 9 days ago. These are 737 throttles, right? They're full electric. So they have auto throttle disconnect switches and toga switches. It comes with a speed brake handle and a flap handle with the gates for the 737, and it comes with extra gates for the 75, 76, 777, and the 787. And these will work for both the speed brake handle and the flap handle. So if you buy this kit, you'll keep these throttles here, but you also get gates for the flaps and the speed brake, so you can use these throttles with basically any twin engine Boeing. So that's what I like about this. Look. Isn't that cool? So it's modular.
Stabilizer motion.
Oh, a little turbulent air here. Make sure everything's okay. So when you hear stabilizer motion, the first thing you need to do is look right here and see if you have like a runaway trim situation, which we do not. Must have been moving for a minute. Anyway, yeah. So this kit comes with everything you need to make this from a 7.3 all the way up to a 787. So I like this. I can easily use these for a 777. That's fine. I got that. And then I also got this. bought this on the 18th. This is the A320 kit. It's also electric. So it comes with auto throttle disconnect, a spoiler arm and disarm, which works. It's got gates for the speed brakes. And you can do your idle and max reverse here. And it also has the detents for climb, flex, and toga. And it's got these are the lockouts for the reverse thrust. And a 5-position flat detents as well. So there you go. I've been spending a lot of money on Etsy this week, last couple of weeks. Yeah, so I like those because I like to fly 737s a lot, and I like the shape of the 737 throttles. I feel like the 777 throttle is kind of boring to me. They don't look as cool, but that kit will allow me to use that on all the aircraft that I fly, essentially, except for the 747. Maybe I'll get that kit too at some point. I don't fly that plane enough to really warrant it. But so with my Honeycomb Bravo, I'll be able to do MD-11, all the 7s, except for the 747, and all the Airbuses, essentially. So I'm really, really happy with what's coming in. I'm going to have a really nice setup, guys. I got the Airbus throttles, Airbus stick, MD-11 throttles, pillar, 7 twin-engine Boeing setup. I'm going to have everything I need here real soon. But you did mention the MD-11, the Flight Sim Factory MD-11 set. Let's take a look at that one. This is kind of cool. It looks kind of similar to the Flight Sim Factory ones, at least partially. But it does look like the reverse thrust looks better. Okay. I do like the fact that the speed brake handle is spring-loaded. Looks like. And this one is really cool because it has it's got a go-around switch on the middle throttle, which the Pro Deskcam one is not. So you have auto throttle disconnect and a toga switch here. The reversers look like to be a different design, so hopefully they have some retention. What I don't like about these is there's big gaps here between the reversers, right? And I don't like that. I wish they had done this a little bit differently, because if you look at the real MD-11 here, hold on. Let me show you what I mean. There's very little gaps on the MD-11 reverse levers. There's very little gap in there, right? But there's a bit of more gap on these ones, which I don't really like. But I don't think this is a bad kit at all. Also, I really like these flap detents that they've got. 'Cause they've got the little guards on them, right? So you have a little detent here, so you can't accidentally go from slats to up. You have a guard, and then from here at 35 as well. And then these detents look good. Yeah, I do want to give these a shot. Hey, Tweedle, welcome aboard, man. He just missed us talking about throttles and Etsy and Pro Desk Sim, Flight Sim Factory, all that stuff. I was showing everybody my new desk setup. I'm really happy with it. It's way more ergonomic for me, and I'm having a much better time flying with it now. The cool thing is this Airbus side stick. It's just my all it is my what do you call it? It's just my noseable steering tiller, so I got something to play with while I'm flying. I just kind of move. I'm over here, just kind of deflecting it, pushing buttons, because nothing else is mapped to it but that. Got a long way to go, unfortunately. Somebody out here be dumping planes. They picked the most gnarly little podunk airfield that there is to fly to, and nobody wants to fly these planes back. Beetle, I got a special mission for you if you're ready. Let me know. I got a secret mission that I need you, only you can do. Oh, Montreal Center's on. That's cool. We'll be talking to some ATC then, huh? Eight 775. Alright, I'm gonna show you the secret mission, okay? This is a secret mission. I need you to come through for me, man. Because I don't have enough time during the week to do this kind of a flight. Maybe you can. So, I don't know what happened here, but I'm looking through the aircraft fleet, right? And I'm currently flying one of the stranded MD-11s. And I'm flying this one, CYJT, right now. But look at this, CYQQ. Who the heck? So this airplane got flown up to this Comox airport. And I don't know why it did, because it doesn't even make sense, because I don't even see it on here. Okay. But anyway, this jet needs to be brought back to Hamilton. Okay, so CYQQ to CYHM. Let me show you how far that actually is. Let me show you on SimBrief here. So, for some weird reason, this MD-11 is at Courtenay, which doesn't make any sense to me. But it needs to be brought back to Hamilton. Can you do it? It's going to be about a 5-hour flight. 4 hours. 4-hour flight. From this place near Vancouver all the way back to Hamilton. If you could do that, that would really help us out. That'd get another MD-11 back into the fight, because nobody wants to fly that thing. No one wants to fly that thing from that little nothing airport back to a hub. And I don't know how that happened in our route system that it ended up that way, but we need that plane back at a hub, and that port name place is no good. So if you find yourself with about 4 hours of time during the day this week, if you can fly that back to Hamilton, that'll give us 2 MD-11s back at the hub and get that plane back in circulation. Right now it's just collecting dust up there, like this one was at Labrador. Oh, that would be great, man. If you could do it this week, that would help us out. And get a plane back at Hamilton so that other pilots can fly more popular routes that, you know, make more sense. Because we do have a lot of nice short flights in and out of Hamilton. That makes sense for most pilots, but that 4-hour thing across country just does not. That'd be great. Like, between you and me, we'll get these stranded planes back to work. They've both been sitting for over a month. Yeah, man. We gotta keep some... I can tell you, being a real-world aircraft mechanic, that the worst thing you can do for an airplane is let it sit on the ground. Things start breaking when you don't fly them. Here, let me show you guys something interesting about payware software development and how this stuff works. Do you guys notice the N1 settings right here? 93? Watch this. The actual thrust settings are much lower. So up here in X-Plane, it's reading an N1 of 82%, where the gauges are reading 90. So a lot of these paywares use fake gauge indications for the purposes of just giving you the realistic indications, because the flight model and the way that X-Plane 12 interpolates like engine data does not always line up with the performance that they want a certain engine indication to have. So if you look up here, it says 83% N1, but the gauge is reading 90. So just remember that this is the sleight of hand that high-end payware developers will do to give you more realistic engine indications, and they use a lot of code and algorithms to determine how that works. Let's see if the fuel flow is actually correct, right? So right now I'm indicating N1 and thrust. The thrust you're never going to see on here, right? What's up, sports fan? All right. I forget what button it is. forget that. I forget what it is to. Oh, you're welcome. It was a throttle block then, right? I figured that's what it was. It's usually what it is. I forget what the option is to change the data that's being displayed here. Show the fuel flow. I forget which one it is. I forget. I'll have to look it up again. I don't remember what it is now. What is it? Forget which one it is to change this information here. I don't know. I'll figure it out. So you guys understand the point of the throttle block, right? I use it, but you just gotta know how to get through it. So here's the theory behind the throttle block on the 777. So you have, these are your ghost throttles, right? So this is the physical position of your hardware throttles, right? And then what you're seeing here is where your auto throttle is being driven to by the servos. So let's say I have my auto throttles here, right? But my physical throttles is down here at idle, okay? If I go to disengage the auto throttle, right? What I don't want to happen is these things are automatically, my throttles to go back down to where the mechanical position's at, because I want them to be where I left them. So what happens is the throttle block, if your throttles are not lined up right, let's say they're here, and then you start to try to move your throttles below, and you're like, why is the throttle not responding? Well, it's because the throttle block is leaving them where the auto throttle left it. For you to make it work, what you have to do is you have to bring your throttles up, slightly past it, and then back onto it like this. So how what I do is I'll go like this, slightly past, slightly below, and then the throttle block will pick up your hardware throttles, and now you're in control again. So it's just to keep you from inadvertently going to idle or going to freaking toga if you don't mean to, because you left your throttles where you didn't intend them to be. So that's how the throttle block works. So you can defeat it. You just need to go slightly past and then back in, and then it'll pick it up. So that's the throttle block. So they will work, but you got to go move your hardware throttles into the position that the auto throttle was left at when you disconnected it, and it will sync them up, and then it will take over. And on the 777, you're going to view that. Here, just watch the N1 indication, and as you move the throttle, you'll see it start to grab it, and it'll start to respond to your hardware throttle. The Zebo and the Level Up 737s have the same system, so you don't inadvertently go to idle or toga thrust until you bring your throttles into the position that they were last in when the auto throttle was disconnected. That's the point. Oh yeah, you really want the ghost position. So the MD-11 does it by default, but the 777 will do it, but it's not as, it's a little more transparent. But I keep them lined up all the time. I always keep them lined up. Alright, well I think we should be talking to Montreal here pretty soon. Let's see how far we are from halfway the distance to Keslu. So when we're 50 DME from Keslu, we'll tune in to Montreal Center. Or whatever they call themselves. What is it? Montreal Center, okay. Bonjour. I get to speak French again. And somebody's asking for my SimFreak profile for my on my Discord server right now. You guys know how to share these profiles? Oh, share airframe. There we go. That's cool. is. And what did I say? Didn't I say 50? It's 56. Damn, I'm good. It's almost like I've been flying for a while, huh? Let's call this guy up. Montreal Center, bonsoir. UPS 2020 with you, flight level 360.
UPS 2020 Montreal Center, bonsoir, squawk 6504 and ident.
6504 ident, UPS 2020.
Jazz 774, continue gate 2. Continue gate 2, thanks for the service, have a great rest of your night. 774.
Oh, crap.
Good night.
Six 6504 ident. There we go.
UPS 2020 Heavy Montreal Center, up to 5, thank you.
Merci.
UPS 2020, proceed Eric 2 tier.
Direct to Kier, UPS 2020. Oh, nice. That'll save some time. Save us a few minutes there. Nice. I like this guy. An hour and 20 minutes we'll be back to Hamilton. Basically we're cleared here. Where is that even at? Somewhere in there. Maybe this? Ah, doesn't matter.
JetBlue 736, call me airborne. The wind's 100 at 5, cleared for takeoff, runway 24 left. Clear for takeoff, 24 left, you're going to call airborne for JetBlue 736. JetBlue 736, passing 2,500. JetBlue 736 identified. Maintain runway heading, climb flight level 230. We're going to climb 230, runway heading, JetBlue 736. JetBlue 736, proceed direct funds on course. Direct as course, JetBlue 736.
If the winds at the 380 would be better. I think we're supposed to step up near Keslu. Alright, let's see here. Are. Montreal Center, UPS 2020, request flight level 380, final cruise.
UPS 2020, climb flight level 380.
Climb maintain flight level 380, UPS 2020. Alright, cool, we're gonna hit up 380. I think we got better wind up there. We should get some headwind come off as we go up here.
UPS 2020, new code, squawk 6510.
6510, UPS 2020. Yep, look at that.
JetBlue 736, Boston Center is offline. Surveillance services terminated. Charge en route frequency. Have a good night. 122, that's my lake. Thanks for this service. Good night, JetBlue 736.
Yep, about 10 knots less. Cool. My flight plan is smarter than me. It told me to step up this 380 a while back, and I just didn't do it, so. Oh, okay. Fuel flow. Wow, look at that. Big difference. the fuel flow that the game is showing and what the aircraft is burning are
Montreal Center,
much
Jazz
different.
671 doing the code for push for Sandy.
Jazz 671, push
Wow.
and start, nose facing north, call back ready for taxi.
The fuel flow
Code for taxi news is
in the game is 3,000 pounds an hour, and on here it's dramatically higher. It's almost 1,000 pounds more. Huh. Makes me wonder if the actual fuel quantity is even the same. Settings, fuel weights. Those seem to line up.
Montreal Center, good evening. Update 870 is with you, sending through file 172 on the Carter 5 arrival. We have information, Quebec.
Object 870, Montreal Center, Bonsoir, squawk 4202, and items.
4202 must send you the flash, Update 870.
Object 870 identified passing 16,000. Montreal information, Quebec runway 24 left, descend 8,000, altimeter 2974.
Oh, alright, we'll expect 24 left and send down to 8,000, Update 870.
Object 870, roger, just confirm you are going to general aviation.
Hey firm, we're gonna go over to Sky Service or Customs, I think it is.
Roger, thank you. Yeah, pretty sure for general aviation, customs can go to pretty much every FB over there.
Alright, copy that. We'll just plan for Sky Service one, which I think is SO Aviation or something like that. Oh, it's yeah, Sky Service.
Yeah, that sounds
This
good.
is very interesting. The fuel flow here is nothing like the fuel flow here. It's way off. This is showing we're burning 12,000 pounds an hour. This is showing us we're burning 9,000 pounds an hour. But these fuel quantities do match up. But there's hidden tanks, okay? So you have fuel tank 1 and 2. There's actually 2 tanks in this left wing tank, right? So we're only burning out of tank 1. And tank 5 and 6 are going to be the main tanks on the right hand side. And then you have, I'm sorry, tanks 3 and 4 are going to be that. You have tank 3, which is the center wing tank. And then you have tanks 6, 7, and 8, which are going to be your aux tanks and then your trim tank. So what I'm getting at is with these paywares, these indications here are sleight of hand. Okay, you can't trust them at all. They're not. They don't line up at all with what you're actually burning. They use an algorithm. So what you're seeing here is what the sim is actually outputting right now, what the engines are really doing. These indications that you're seeing here are not real. They're
Object 870, proceeding
they're
Purdue,
displays
and
to make
the
the
6,000
indications
seconds final.
line up to what the real
Direct
world
Purdue, and we'll
indications should
descend
be.
down to 6,000 up to 870.
Because the X-Plane engine, light model engine, doesn't have the fidelity and the adjustability to make it output what you want it to output, right? So they use fake indications here to make it look realistic, but what the sim is actually putting out is quite a bit more. It appears to be about it's an algorithmic change here. So this is like definitely a lot higher, right? This is 4,000 pounds an hour. Yeah, it's using some algebraic equations to figure it out.
Watch out, Center, Jet 73 is going to be at gate 88 at Montreal. What information go back on board? You request
It,
switchback.
it depends what you want.
Jet 73, roger. Hold your position. I've got company traffic behind. I'll get back to you soon.
I would
Copy,
say
company traffic behind us, for Jet 73.
these indications are probably more realistic to real life,
71, we're looking for
but these indications are not what the sim is doing.
Jet 671, runway 24 left, altimeter 2974. Taxi east lane,
Who's that?
north ramp, Alpha 4, Alpha 7. Hold short runway 24 left.
That's east lane and the north ramp, and then that's Alpha, and then, let's see here, Alpha 7 for Jazz 671.
Jazz 73, pushback and start, nose facing north, call back ready for taxi.
Pushback is approved, facing north.
Alright, so I'm gonna do something here. Just for fun. I'm gonna I'm gonna turn off the auto throttle and see if I can get these indications to stabilize. And then we're gonna do some math and figure out if we can figure out what the ratio is between here and what the actual fuel flow is in the sim. Because what I want to do is get these numbers to match closer to this so that our fuel burn calculations are more accurate. Because the fuel quantity indicated here is matching up with what the sim is actually showing, but the amount of fuel that we're burning out of these tanks is not. That's why I'm always landing with so much damn fuel right here, because we're burning way less than what is indicated right here. And I can make these numbers match by going into PlaneMaker and changing the thrust-specific fuel consumption based on this stuff. Alright? Just to get better fuel burn numbers. This thing's sipping fuel compared to what this is showing. Here's what we're gonna do. We're gonna turn off the auto throttle. Let me get it kind of close. All right. Auto throttle's coming off. Adjust these throttles to get the speed a little bit closer.
Object 870, maintain present heading, descend 4000. Maintain present heading down to 4000, up to 870.
Alright, let me see. We hold the speed? Not at all. Okay. We'll hold them there. So let's do some math. Let me get a pen. Hold on. Alright. So these are indicating 4,200. So 4,200 divided by 2920. Let's see what we get for math on that. Okay, 1.43.
Object 870, turn left heading 330, descend 3000.
1.44. Alright, now
330 down to 3000, up to 870.
I'm gonna push the throttles up to see if we get a 6,000 pound fuel flow and see what we get. And see if it's a consistent ratio. Alright, so at 6,400, I'm getting 40. Alright, so 6,500, I'm getting 4090. So 6,500, 4090.
Object
Let's see what that
870,
is.
turn left heading 270 for the interceptor, ILS runway 24
Oh.
left approach.
Bus heading 270, clear ILS runway 24 left approach, up to 870.
Alright, let's see. .58, okay. That changes. So this is definitely using some algebra here. I could figure it out if I did enough math, but I don't really want to. But anyway, auto throttle. Alright, so it sounds like to me, and this is all the stuff, well, no, you see, it doesn't work that way, Tweedle. The plane won't perform the way you want it to if you just rely on X-Plane 12's output. I'll give you an example. These GE engines, right? The CF680 C2s, they can exceed 110, 112% N1, right? But the game, the way it does its thrust straps and plane maker, the thrust gets exponential as you go past 100% N1. So if you were
72
to
Roger, runway 24 left, altimeter
rely only on
274,
X-Plane's data,
make a left turn,
if you were to set an
taxi,
accurate
flame, north round, Alpha 4,
pickup thrust
Alpha
for this
7,
plane at
hold short runway
110%
24 left.
N1, the amount of thrust that the X-Plane would be putting out would be like 80,000 pounds of thrust,
North,
which is way
north
in
ramp,
excess of what the
Alpha
plane can actually
74,
do,
yes.
right? You can't do that. So they have to use artificial numbers so that you see the indication that you want, but the amount of thrust that the X-Plane is giving you is reasonable. The X-Plane has limitations. It has real limitations above 100% N1. The graph falls apart, and you really can't adjust it past that. So they have to use artificial indications, or else your plane's going to take off like the space shuttle. Because X-Plane really doesn't extrapolate well past 100% N1. That's what I'm talking about. If you have an engine that only uses like 100% N1 as the max you'll ever
Object
get,
870, plan to
it's
accept
fine.
Alpha 2, the winds 100
Right.
at 5,
Very few
runway
engines
24 left.
equal 100 is 100, right? So they got to use fake math to give you an indication. But the problem is that my fuel flow is way lower than what it should be. So what I need to do
Alright,
is
we'll plan to exit at Alpha
pick
2,
a cruise,
runway 2 for left, clear
a
to land, up
typical
to
cruise
870.
N1 setting, and find out what that ratio is. So right now, let's call it 91%. It's going to give us 4850 divided by 3200, right? 4850 divided by 3200. It's going to give us a ratio of basically 1.52. So what I want is I need to increase the fuel burn in Hey Adam, I have to increase the fuel flow at cruise power settings by 50% to get what X-plane is burning to equal what the gauge is showing at that power setting alone. Okay? Because how it works right now is it's called thrust specific fuel consumption. So if you look up here on this chart at the top, you'll see that our thrust output is about let's say at 5,000 pounds we get a fuel flow of 2,900, right? So 5,000 pounds of thrust divided by, or 2,900 divided by 5,000 equals a thrust-specific fuel consumption of 0.58. Okay. But that's how you do it in PlaneMaker. I don't want to open it right now while I'm flying because PlaneMaker makes X-plane get really wonky in flight. So I can show you when we land, but you adjust that thrust-specific fuel consumption value to get what you want the plane to burn. But now if we look up the thrust-specific fuel consumption of a thrust-specific fuel consumption CF680C2.
Object 870, welcome to Montreal, exit right on Alpha 2, right on Alpha, and Alpha 3, hold short of runway 24 left.
Alright, right Alpha 2, right Alpha, and then turn right Alpha 3, and hold short of runway 2 for left on Alpha 3,
See if
up
we
to
can find that.
870.
No. Oh. Thrust specific. Alright, here we go. The CF680C2. Wow, that's actually really good. The thrust-specific fuel consumption for the C2 is even lower than what's indicated here. So what that's telling me then is that this airplane's putting out way too little thrust at this altitude, right? So this specific fuel consumption is even higher than what the real engine is, but the amount of thrust that we're outputting out here is lower than what it really should be on the real plane. So we would need to double the thrust.
Jet 671, call me airborne, the winds
See, it's really
110 at 4, cleared for takeoff runway 24 left.
These are the issues that you run into with K-Ware software development. It's figuring out all this math to make the indications match, to make the plane fly right. Because you want the plane to fly right, first and foremost, right? And ideally, you'd like the indications to be exact, if you can. But sometimes you need to make up fake indications so that the plane flies right and appears to be indicating right. But what X-plane is actually putting out is a lot different. So, it's complicated, man. Anyway, I think I'm done talking about this for now, but these are the things you have to think about when you're making payware. That's why it's not that easy. That's why it takes these guys a long time to make planes. Look at all the math that we just did right now, and we've only tapped the surface of what we need to know. And that's why I need to be on a payware team, because this is what I can do. This is what I know. This is what I used to do for FSX. And I can do this for X-Plane too. I have the tools. Hire me. I can make you a good plane.
Jet 870 at Alpha 3, cross runway 24 left, taxi Lima, Romeo to Sky Service, have a good night.
Alright, Alpha 3, cross 24 left, we'll taxi Lima, Romeo to Sky Service. Up to 870, have a great rest of your night.
Yeah, I just want to give you guys some insight.
Yeah, 671 with Ori Airport at 1,000.
Jet 671 identified, maintain runway heading, climb flight level 230.
230, we'll continue flying the runway, Jet 671.
And up Jet 870, just make sure you keep your transponder on for all ground movement in Montreal.
Yep, I apologize, we flicked mode C off there. It should be back on now, I'm sorry about that.
No problem at all. Jet 671, proceed direct Bugsy on course.
Direct Bugs on course, 671.
Okay, 122 miles to top of descent, which is going to be 13 after. So 16 minutes. Probably about 10 minutes. We'll brief the descent and arrival in Hamilton.
Jet 73, call me airborne, the winds 120 at 5, cleared for takeoff, runway 24 left.
Give me takeoff 100 for 11, calling when airborne for Jet 3. center, that's going to be at 1,000.
Just major identified, maintain runway heading, climb flight level 230.
Climb level 220 for Justin. E3.
UPS 2020, Toronto Center is offline, civilian services terminated, check with frequency, have a good night.
Over advisory, UPS 2020, Orwell. You're welcome, Tweedle. It was a good conversation and it helped kill some time, so thank you for that. I'll catch you later, dude. I'm gonna go ahead and get ready to land this thing here. You have a good one, man. Hey, thanks for helping me out with that jet tomorrow. Here. Let's do some performance calculations. Landing performance. Max manual braking, our effective landing distance would be 8,000 feet. But I think we'll do auto brakes medium. I'll plan for a full length rollout at Hamilton. We should be able to stop with that. Surface condition wet. Oh. Like. Okay. So approach speed 158. Let's see what this thing says. A little bit higher. And this thing thinks our landing weight is going to be 435. Okay. Okay. The 160 flaps 35, auto brakes medium. Well, if we take a look at Hamilton here. Oh, 250 at 17 gust 25. Ooh, that's spicy. With the wet runway. Altimeter 2971. Oh, that's pretty old. So we have a 8 knot gust, so let's add 4 knots to our approach speed. Gust additive. Alright, landing data is checked. So we have a 12 knot crosswind component, but with gusts up to 16 knot crosswind, landing on 30 at Hamilton. So that's coming from the left. So nose crab left, rudder right, and left aileron down as we roll out here. Left aileron, right rudder to keep the plane aligned on the rollout and round out. We'll plan on a full length rollout. We'll do a 180 turn down here, taxi back to Charlie, take Charlie down here, and then we'll park at the south ramp. On the TCAT 1 arrival, so we need to cross airball at 250, 16,000 feet. That's here just before we get to Toronto. There's no other crossing restrictions at this time. We'll just do profile speed control. And we're going to transition on to the RNAV Zulu from a 30. LPV minimums are 1016. At Delva, we need to be at 2,200 feet. Recommended that we get down to 2,200 feet. This is kind of like a dive and drive kind of thing. But, yeah, 2,200 feet by Delva. And at GoPad, we'll pick up a 3-degree glide path down to the minimum descent altitude, which is 1016. And as long as we're visual, we can continue down to the runway. The Barrow is 1016. Touchdown zone elevation is 771. MSA is 3,100 feet, and this approach is climb straight ahead, 2,800 feet. 1016 Barrow. Hey, top of descent's about 25 miles out. Alright, crew, we're gonna be heading down here in just a minute. Hey, vertical alert. Oh, crap. Profile. No? Oh, maybe if I set the altitude, right? Hey, profile to 16. weather updates here. Oh boy, 16 gusting 25. Rain. Getting kind of close to our max crosswind component for a wet runway.
Stabilizer motion. Yeah, we're within limits. We'll be alright. Look at that. That's Toronto right there. You guys want to land right now? Let's just go straight in.
Altimeter setting.
Yep. 2971. Okay. Oh, now the winds have changed completely. Oh, look at that. Wind shift. East wind shift. 6.8. Okay, well that changes things.
Spoilers deployed.
Too much spoiler. Too much spoiler. Sorry about that. I got a little punchy there. Okay, well let's recalculate here.
Stabilizer motion.
All right. Let's see about ILS 12 now. All right. Let's recalculate this. We can do the RNAV at BIMKey. That'll work. RNAV 12 at BIMKey. RNAV Yankee. Minimum profile descent is same. quite sure why I wanted to go that way, but okay. Now, okay, there we go. Way better. All right, let's redo this landing calculations here. So 160. Auto brakes medium. Okay. Alright, let's rebrief this approach. We're now switching to the RNAV Yankee runway 12 at Bimkey. So as we come out of this turn here, actually, I take it back. Decision altitude is 1,076. Let's fix that. Keep my eyes to adjust to this darkness. Alright, it's getting a little dark in here, guys. Apologize, but I need to see what I'm doing. Alright. So, new approach, RNAV Yankee at Bimkey. So 210 and 5,000 feet at Bimkey. And as we come through this turn, we need to roll out on a 2,200 foot altitude at IGTIG. And a 3-degree glide path down to the runway threshold. Touchdown zone is 780. 1,076 Barrow is the decision altitude. MSA is 3,100. MS approach, time straight ahead, 2,800 feet to NORAD. Down 5,000 feet. Alright, profile of 5. Re-brake. Why I turned my APU on. That was a mistake. Okay, speed 217 thrust.
Stabilizer motion.
Alright, here's what I want to do. I want to cross Bimkey at 5. I want to cross these two at 4200 directly. 4300 here. And then this I want to be at 2200.
Stabilizer motion.
Track, speed brakes. I tell you what, it's so dark in here. I'm just gonna turn off the webcam. You guys can't see nothing anyway. There you go. Now just focus on what's out front, right? Okay, exterior lights are on. Or checklist complete. Alright.
Altitude.
Okay, 1,000 to go. Altitude down to 2,000 feet. I'm gonna go ahead and do manual speed here. I'm gonna go speed 190. And let's go flaps 15.
Stabilizer motion.
Alright, 190 thrust. Hamilton traffic, good evening. UPS 2020 Heavy on the RNAV Yankee runway 12 approach. Hamilton. There's the airport.
Stabilizer motion.
Gear down. Flaps 28. FMS thrust. FMS speed. 163 thrust. Landing gears down, spoilers arm, auto brakes, medium.
Stabilizer motion.
Holding on flaps. Alright, crew. Laps 35. Okay. Laps 35. Altimeter's crushing EADs, green box, for clear to land. Alright, crew. I think I'll take it from here. I'm gonna set Mr. Approach out to
2500.
Mr. Approach heading 112. Oh, 117. Alright, crew. I'm gonna take it.
Autopilot.
Autothrottle. Okay, indicated winds are much different than what we're seeing here. Damn, if these winds don't come in pretty quick, we're gonna go around.
1000.
Yeah, that's indicating a tailwind. 20-something knot tailwind, so. I'm not gonna be able to land with that.
Approaching 1, 2.
Nope.
Approaching
You're up.
minimum.
Plus 28.
You're up.
400.
Yeah, that's a tailwind. That's not a hit. That wind is not correct.
Altitude.
Alright. Profile, nav, auto flight.
Altitude.
Heading select.
Stabilizer motion. Stabilizer motion.
B190, flaps 15. Alright, turn that off. Alright, that was a tailwind, so I don't know what this weather was doing. Yeah, I could. I might do that. Okay, so the wind on my ATIS was favoring a headwind. This is decidedly a tailwind here. So what we're going to do is we're going to switch back to the runway 30 and we'll do the RNAV approach. So I'm going to go ahead and head out this way a bit. Go heading 180. Take the altitude up to 4,000 feet.
Stabilizer motion.
Speed 220 pitch.
Altitude.
Alright, let's figure this out.
Altitude.
Don't overshoot that altitude.
Stabilizer motion.
Let's go, lobster track. this out. Alright, flight plan. Let's go to the RNAV. Let's figure out a better approach here. This wind is nonsense. I don't know what that is. That's not what we had. We're gonna go back to 3-0 and approach. We'll go pick up the RNAV Zulu. Be the best bet here at Ketbu. RNAV Zulu, Ketbu, 1016 minimum descent. All right, cool. Get lined up for a better entry onto that. Yeah, I don't know what the heck. X-plane weather is not playing nice today. .160, auto brakes medium, speed brakes still armed. Go ahead and go wreck Ketbu. Let's go now. Speed 190. Flap 15.
Stabilize their motion. Might be a little wide on this, but we'll get it. Okay, so go Peb, 2,200 feet. Let's go profile down to 2200. I think the FMS is a little confused here. I don't need a top of climbing here. Alright. Get out, flaps 28. Altitude 2,500.
Alright, FMS speed. No. That's not right. Man, this thing's really jacked up.
Stabilize their motion.
Not liking what I'm doing today. Alright. Tell you what.
Autopilot.
I'm not liking it. Flaps 35. Just gonna handle it myself. I think I got the FMS out of sequence here a bit. I don't have time to mess with it, so we'll just land it manually. runway's in sight. Gusts up here. This is not going to be a pretty landing, everybody. I'm just warning you now. It's indicating about a 20 knot crosswind, so. Turn that thing off. Not helping me. Very heavy. Alright.
Approaching 30.
Approaching minimum. 400. Minimum.
Continue.
300. 200. 100. 50, 40, 30, 20, 10.
Spoilers deployed.
Manual braking. Woo! That was fun.
3,000 feet remaining.
Full length rollout. Man, that was
2,000 remaining.
I should have left my lights on in my office so you guys can see me working the controls, man. That was something. Okay, on the brakes.
1,000 remaining. On runway 12.
Flaps, tweak brakes is on. Auto brakes off. Radar. Taxiway Charlie. That's it right there. APU. That trim. And we cross this one right here.
Approaching 6.
I have no idea what that touchdown was. It was a little firm, but 83 feet per minute. Okay, I'll take it. In that crosswind with that gust, I'll take it. Okay, Marshall in sight. Alright. Parking checklist. Alright, watch here is about to get mangoed. Brake, power, APU, off. Alright crew, we made it to Hamilton. That was a fun one. Well, thank you everybody who was here tonight. I enjoyed the flight. I don't know what's going on with X-Plane weather tonight, but the ATIS that I'm getting was showing wind 160 at 11, which favors a runway 12 approach, right? But what we were getting in X-Plane is something completely different. So I had to go around because I had well in excess of it appeared to me to be about a 15 knot tailwind component, and I don't think I can land with that, especially with the wet runway. It's not gonna work. So we went around, we came back around and shot the RNAV approach. The problem is I don't think I set it in the FMC correctly because it was trying to calculate a topic descent and topic climb, so my profile was off. So I just selected to do, a visual approach with the autopilot off and fly it manually. But the wind was oscillating 20 to 40 degrees with about 10 knot changes. So I was really chasing it at the end there. But we got it down, and shockingly, according to this, I don't know if I believe it or not, but I mean, touchdown, 183 feet per minute. 1 degree at bank, which is okay because I had the left crosswind, so I wanted to keep the left wing down just a little bit. 152 knots. The VREF was 155, so we were only 3 knots off the VREF. So I would call that a good landing, considering the conditions. And we burned an extra 2,000 pounds of fuel, but that tracks for me, right? Because we went around. So honestly, I think we did pretty good on this flight, considering. I'm happy with it. So now we got an MD-11 back at Hamilton for either myself or my pilots at my hub to fly. If any of you guys are looking for a virtual airline, I strongly recommend UPS Virtual Air Cargo, and you want to fly in the Hamilton hub because you want to fly with me. Because I'm the most fun. I'm the most fun hub manager in RVA. Anyway, thank you guys for being here. I'll catch you guys probably tomorrow night. We're going to fly something else. I haven't decided what yet, but I hope to see you back. Bye-bye.